Hello and welcome to the 22nd episode of The Real List, a podcast about our real list. I'm your host, Ellis.
And I'm your host, Gloria.
There's a T on the end of that word. We both said hosts. We're your hosts.
Host.
We're your hostesses. This is a selection from me. This is the third part of the Cornetto trilogy, which was funny because we got to the end, just about the end, and you're like, I haven't seen the ice cream yet.
Yeah.
Where's the ice cream? But yeah, they are a loosely connected trilogy. They don't really have anything in common aside from the fact that they're all directed by Edgar Wright, written by Simon Pegg, in part, starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, and they have all sorts of other British actors and actresses like Martin Freeman, Paddy Considine?
She played the sister.
Yeah. Rosamund Pike and Eddie Marsan.
Oh no, Rosamund Pike played the sister because she also played, I think she played,
Oh, Paddy Considine is a man.
Oh. Sorry.
But yeah, no, she was the love interest in Hot Fuzz as well, wasn't she?
Was she?
Yeah, well, because she's in it for all of 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's right. She was, the love interest.
Which I wanted to start off by saying, other than the fact that I found one of the original files I made for this podcast, and it was spelled R-E-A-L instead of R-E-E-L. Not that that matters. I was just like, was that a typo, or did I have a different idea in mind? Did I have a different pun in mind when we started this, like, half a year ago now? Well, 20 episodes. Not quite a half a year, but anyway. So, we do have something planned for the big 5-0, because we'll probably end up skipping another week.
Yeah.
That'll be our year.
So this movie is about 5 childhood friends who, go about their separate ways. Except for one, Gary King, who...
The King,
who is in Alcoholics Anonymous at the opening scene of this movie.
Yep.
And he's like, I want to get the gang back together, and we're going to do the Golden Mile.
Yeah, he feels like he has nothing to live for at 40 years old. All of his other friends have become fairly successful, admittedly.
Moved on with their lives, had children.
And I wanted your opinion on that opening sequence of narration.
Them being in AA, or
no, everything up to the reveal of him being in AA, because obviously that's a funny moment. I think this is the funniest movie of the trilogy. But
taking my bit.
You said you thought it was the best. I think it's the funniest. That's different.
Well, I do think it is the funniest out of all of them, though. But I did like Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz, it's got to be this movie, and then Hot Fuzz, then Shaun of the Dead.
Hot Fuzz is the high watermark for this series, I feel, and just sort of that's how the critics and certainly how the revenue shows, because this one made $46 million at the box office against a budget of $20 million, which noticeably the budget goes up in each one of these installments.
This movie ran in Japan?
This one didn't. This ran in Japan. Remember the last one didn't run until like 2 years ago?
Yeah, until like 2019.
Yeah.
That was Shaun of the Dead.
That was 3 years ago. Oh my god. Anyway, it was in the before times. Yeah, I wanted to ask you what you thought about that whole narrated introduction.
What, by Simon Pegg?
Yeah, just everything up to the reveal of him being in AA.
Yeah, like him just, telling the story about his friends and everything, and I was like, oh, is he gonna wake up, is he gonna, be in, some sort of shitty dead-end job and, be miserable with his life? But no, he was in AA. He was in AA, people.
I want to say this movie flips that on its head, flips the who's got it together on its head, because in the last two, in Hot Fuzz, he's like RoboCop, basically. Yeah. He's just incredible. And in Shaun of the Dead, he has his life together. He might not be enjoying himself. He kind of sort of had his life
together, but his friend Ed was dragging him down in this one.
Yep.
But in this one, Simon Pegg's the fuck up.
Yep.
And everybody else is soared above.
And he's 40 years old. That's they never specify their ages exactly. But yeah, some time has passed. And obviously, this is the last one they made, so all the actors are a little bit older anyway. But yeah, see, I was asking because I felt like that sequence went a little long while we were experiencing it. But looking back, it's just fine.
Yeah, I think it was fine. I think he told the story of how they originally did the Golden Mile when they were younger, and then they gave up at what?
They gave up 3 from the end, so I don't remember what it was. I think it was before
The King's Head.
King's something. Yeah, I need a list. Hold on. Talk
You
about
need
the
a list
movie.
of
I'm
the
looking something up.
pubs?
Yeah.
I like how he saves Andy for last, and how he goes to everybody else, and they're like, "What about Andy? Is he
Oh
in?"
yeah.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, Andy's totally coming." And then they're like, they all get into the car and everything, and
I got it. No, but no, you're right. I like how he told everyone the same
the
lie.
same thing. And then Andy was the last person that he went to, and he was like, "Man, my mom died," which was a lie.
Yeah.
My mom died. That was a lie. My mom died of the big cancer.
The big cancer. How quickly did you start to suspect that was a lie?
Immediately,
Yeah.
as soon as it came out of his mouth, I was like, "That's a lie."
Also, he did the same story to all 5 people. This is a tip for budding filmmakers or script writers.
Mm-hmm.
When you have to give information to multiple parties, if it's a long piece of information, you don't want the script and you don't want your characters to have to be repeating themselves, because that's just wasting time in your movie. What they did here was actually pretty brilliant, and it's not like it's unheard of, but it's something to think about when the tone is right. He's telling 5 parts of the same story to all the 4 parts of the same story to the 4 different people he has to get on board. And you just hear, he has the full conversation with all of them.
All you hear is, "Are you sure Andy's coming?"
Well, yeah, I'm saying you hear a quarter of that conversation in each of those scenes, but he told everyone the same thing. Although I did naively think that he only brought up the dead mom with Andy, until it's revealed later that no, he said that to everyone. And then, of course, his mom's calling him and he gets totally busted. Anyway.
And then he was like, he paid Andy back the $600, the 600 quids, and he took 200 from each of his friends to pay back Andy. But he also owes somebody else money as well.
It's probably more than one other person.
You list the bars. I gotta use the bathroom.
Okay. Anyway, so we've got the... Oh, God, how many bars is it? Is it 12 bars? Okay. The first post, the old familiar, the famous cock, the cross hands, the good companions, the trusty servant, the 2-headed dog, the mermaid, the beehive, the king's head, the hole in the wall, and finally, the world's end. But it's... Yeah, I'd like to think so. I'd like to think I sounded like Simon Pegg. But in seriousness, it is written that the names of the bars are crafted for the place they fill in the story. Now, I wasn't picking up on this, but if I did a rewatch, I would try to pay attention to that. That seems interesting. I love that kind of thing. And I mean, that's what you get out of an Edgar Wright movie. It's like, it's just set up and payoff for the whole movie. The bars are named, the pubs are named, for like the thing that they represent in the story. The first one off the top of my head, I mean, obviously the first post, but the first one that comes to mind is the Old Familiar. Remember how they walk into the Old Familiar and it's exactly the same as the first post? Very familiar, isn't it? Also, another one of those things, the setup and payoff, the immediate setup and payoff. And I didn't think they would do that because it's almost too cheesy. But them going into the first post and saying, "Oh, they Starbucks it, they Starbucksed it or Starbuckified it," it's like all the other pubs now, and then they go into the Old Familiar, and it's literally
the exact same.
It's the same set. So I
want to jump into the fight scene.
Like oh my god, this movie had good fight scenes.
When they first introduced the blanks.
Oh yeah, don't call them robots.
Don't call them robots. Call them blanks.
Oh, hold on. Just another parallel really quick. Because it's the don't call them zombies and don't call them robots.
Oh, okay.
And this was the second film of the trilogy. Or no, sorry. It was the other 2 that faked me out with a love interest. I thought it was going to be the other girl in Shaun of the Dead. The inverted
Liz.
Shaun. Uh, and I thought it was going to be what's her name in Hot Fuzz. Of course, they never bring up the romantic interest again in Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
But anyway, you were saying about the fight scenes.
Oh my god, when so they what bar were they in? They were in
Oh God, was it the Cross Hands?
I
It might have been the Cross Hands.
Say so, but
well, that makes sense because crossing hands like fighting. And the famous cock is when he tried to get Sam into the bathroom, right?
yes.
So his famous cock, right?
My
It makes sense.
God.
I'm not making this up.
Okay, so whatever.
I'm peeling back a very thin veneer of mystery here. It's not really exciting.
So back to what I was saying was, not Sean. I think that's.
It's Excedrin migraine.
I think that's what Julie's.
Well, it's not anymore. Now it's ours.
But when they were in the Cross Hands, Gary was in the bathroom after he had some few words with the boys, and he's all upset, and he slips and he almost punches the same spot that he punched when he was younger.
That's fun, yeah.
And then one of the blanks walks in and is using the urinal, and he's talking to it, and he's just like giving Gary this like blank expression as he's using this urinal, and Gary's just trying to get this kid's attention. I was like, you want to join the Golden Mile with us? Like, why are you talking to a child like this, sir?
Because he's never grown up. That's why.
Yeah. And so Gary goes to grab the kid, and so he was like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And then his head pops off like a fucking Lego piece.
Yep. Spurts blue everywhere. You said you've got blue on you.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny. This is why I like doing these episodes the day after and not 2 weeks after, because I can actually remember things that we said during the movie or things that happened during the movie.
And so then everybody comes in and they're like, you know who we just got the phone with? Your mom! I thought she was dead!
Yeah.
And then all the other blanks walk in that was with the group with the first guy, and they just start fighting, and those fight scenes were amazing.
Better fight scenes than Doom, don't at me.
I liked those fight scenes because I felt like, and why were they pulling wrestling moves out of their asshole? Like, I've never seen.
Because it's an Edgar Wright movie, I don't know.
I was like, what is this? They got him doing freaking finishers over here and shit, and I'm just like, what is...
No, that's one of the things that struck me is like, damn, they're really just like hamming it up here with how good these guys are at fighting. Because obviously they would not be that good. They sort of ignore the physical limitations for the sake of entertainment, and you know what? I'm okay with that. This movie is not taking itself seriously. Honestly, none of these movies do, and that's something that makes them stand out as really good comedies.
I got a question.
Go on.
Who did you think was going to die first? Or get turned into a blank first?
I'm going to be completely honest, I didn't expect anybody to die.
Really?
I didn't expect anyone to die. I expected people to die in Shaun of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's a zombie movie. I didn't expect people to actually stay dead in this movie. I thought they were going to find them. At least the other two members of the group that they lost. But it's foreshadowed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why? Tell me why.
No.
The whole conversation about the Musketeers, man. When he says, oh, we're like the 5 Musketeers. Oh, there were 3 Musketeers. Well, 5 Musketeers is better than 3 because if you lose 2, you still have 3 Musketeers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that didn't register to me at the time. It's just then people started dying, and I went, oh my god, they're going to have 3 left.
So I thought Peter was going to die first. Because in the first fight scene, he went and hid in the bathroom stall.
Oh, yeah. Well, Peter lives, doesn't he? No, wait, no. He dies second.
He became a blank because he went and was fighting his childhood bully.
Oh, yeah!
And when
What a good scene.
That was a great scene. He was like, because he fucking deserved it!
Yeah. It's not worth it. Yes, he fucking does! Or, it is, or whatever. This
movie was full of such great moments, like... It's crazy because like I didn't think that this movie was going to be good, and I actually ended up liking it a lot.
I didn't expect that it would be as good as it was. I laughed harder at this movie than I have at the other two. I think that Hot Fuzz is the better of the 3, just overall. but this movie's definitely funnier.
I can never get over Simon Pegg just rolling in on the horse with the gun all strapped up and ready to go. I'm gonna take on this whole town by myself.
Yeah, no, why couldn't we get that in this movie? Well, in fairness, they did sort of take on the whole town by themselves, and they pissed off the, like, alien intelligence. The network, and got them to leave Earth. Of course, it sent
The
Earth
whole
back into
town.
the Dark Age.
Yeah, it set the Earth in the Dark Ages, and it, like, blew up a whole town out of existence, but,
If we want to come back to how I didn't expect people to die, I didn't expect there to be any real consequences in this movie. I thought it was going to be like, wow, what a crazy day we have. But no, 2 people are dead while they're replaced by blanks. His mom died, at least according to the narration, for real this time. And the Earth is in a dark age, and I didn't expect that at all. Both of the other 2 movies have had sort of bad ending fake outs. I mean, Shaun of the Dead is a little bit rough on that, because it's like, oh god, they might die. Oh no, the army's here, and Ed gets to live, quote unquote, in the shed chained up. And then Hot Fuzz, the mine goes off and demolishes the police station, but everyone's okay in the end, except for the, what's his face who landed on the mine. But this one, it's like, no, the world ended. Like, it did actually end. What a way to send off the trilogy. Did you expect that at all?
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, I expected everybody to get kind of, like, just to, like, merge into, like, this giant community and be like, yeah, you could stay in New Haven. What is it, Newton Haven?
Newton Haven, yeah. I thought it was New Haven, too.
You can all stay in Newton Haven as long as you just follow our rules. But no. No, that's not what it was. They were like, we want to get drunk and fuck up shit.
Let's boo-boo.
And
oh my God.
Nick Frost's character, Andy, was actually was sober.
Yep,
after
for 16 years.
After him and Gary got into an accident that flipped the car because, Gary overdosed?
Well, he said he overdosed.
He said he overdosed. And they flipped the car, and he didn't drink since then.
Yep. And then when stuff starts to go sideways, he just downs all 5 shots.
Let's boo-boo.
Let's boo-boo. Okay, so we talk about how good the characters are in these movies, just in general. In Shaun of the Dead, in Hot Fuzz. Although Hot Fuzz is not as much of a character, Hot Fuzz, despite being the middle movie and the best of the 3, I would say, is the most different from the other 2.
Yes.
It involves something that is not supernatural, including aliens under the umbrella of supernatural for the moment. It involves just Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in their buddy cop movie.
Dealing with an occult that's killing people to make sure that their town stays pristine.
Right. But it's not the group of 5. It's not the posse. And in Shaun of the Dead, it's like the group of 6 or 7 of them.
And this is slowly die off.
Yep, and this is the group of 5 or 6 if you count Sam. It's a very different movie, and this has a lot of parallels with Shaun of the Dead, and I don't remember where I was going with that. Oh, the characters. They do manage to craft interesting, deep characters that have backstory that you can care about.
Steven was a simp.
Yeah, that you can care about all of them over the course of this movie. And
Steven was big simping. For his friend's sister.
To that end, something that resonated with me even, I may not be a 40-year-old alcoholic, but because my friend group is the Iron Horsemen, and we don't see each other most of the time. We all live scattered across the country or multiple countries. Depending if you count Canada as its own separate thing or just future America territory.
Where'd that come from?
Don't worry about it. The sort of friends getting back together and reminiscing on all the dumb stuff they used to do and the dumb inside jokes that they had and whatever, it resonated so deeply with me because, this year marks the 7th anniversary of the first Horseman trip, which was in 2015 to Train Mountain. I was there with the Gillies and I was there with Weibold. And those two people have visited me independently this year within the span of like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to share all those inside jokes again. You got to have those moments with people that, you know, it's a very unique sort of feeling. It's sort of like a high school reunion, except not with people you hate. Um, and that's
I don't know when my high school reunion is.
my 5 years come and gone.
Oh, you didn't go to your reunion?
I didn't even know there was. I don't even know if there was one.
Probably
I wasn't paying attention.
Probably because of COVID.
No, it would have been in 2019. It would have been the before times. I just didn't get like an invite or anything. The closest thing I've had to a high school reunion was Emilio's wedding. And there were that was most of the people that I cared about from high school, not including the friend group that Shelby is in.
I just want to go to a high school reunion so I can show you off.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Simp.
Shut up.
Oh, you were calling other people simps?
So what? I also would like to add that in the end of the movie, when Andy was telling a story about how him and his wife got back together because, worked everything out, I guess, and it felt right to be together, especially if you're in the dark times.
What did he say? He said it's like, oh, our problems seem pretty minuscule compared to...
Yeah, compared to what's going on now. And then he was like, I wonder what happened to Gary. Never knew what happened to Gary.
Yeah.
And then Gary ends up showing up at, what was it, the next pub in line, right?
No, it was I think it was back at one of the pubs in Newton Haven. I don't know which. I think it actually might have been the first post.
No, it was...
Because he gives that same speech.
No, it was the companion.
It was the companion?
I think so.
Okay, well, either way. He's back in Newton Haven with
younger versions of himself.
Well, with the blanks.
With the blanks, yeah, but they're younger versions...
Of the rest of the gang, anyway.
Yeah, of the rest of the gang. And he's like, 5 tap waters, please. And he's like, you can have a water, but I'm not serving these. And he was like, who are you? And he's like, I'm the king.
Again, another callback, and this one is not subtle even a little bit, to the beginning of the movie when Nick Frost's character is like, yeah, it takes a lot of balls to go into a bar and order a water.
But I like how in the end of the movie, how Gary was sober. I like how he finally sobered himself up, though. You know, he looked a lot better than he did in the beginning of the movie. Progress. The end of the world shows progress.
Well, it's... The end of the world provided him the opportunity to do what he always wanted to do, which is just to F around and have fun, right?
Yeah.
This is his idea of fun. He doesn't need to worry about having a stable job. He's like a cowboy. He's like an outlaw, I should say.
Like a cowboy. He is a cowboy.
Well, that's Hot Fuzz. He didn't have a horse in this movie.
So nice.
He should have got a horse. He should have got a horse.
You should have gotten a horse.
I've got a... Never mind. Don't look at me like that. Well, I also... This coming from my inner car aficionado. Obviously, you know me. I love the Beast. I love how he still has the same car, and I love how...
Everything has changed but the shell of the car.
Yep. I love how... He's just totally... Gary is completely, lawless, careless. The car is registered... What was that?
Children.
Oh.
Screaming outside.
The car is registered under
Peter's
name, and he's just been racking up points on his license, traffic violations. And when he gives his name... That whole thing unfolds... he gives his name as Peter, and then he reveals, well, yeah, the car's still in your name. I never changed it. I changed it based on your address. And that ties back to even, was Peter the first person he met at the very beginning?
I think so.
Because he was outside of his house, so he's kept track of his address the whole time. It is too good of a movie. I mean, all 3 of these are movies that are worth rewatching.
I really liked this movie, and I also liked how everybody basically had a happy ending, kind of,
Well,
sort of.
except for the people that got replaced by blanks.
Yeah, yeah, this is true.
Like how
But
Martin's Freeman character is just missing half his head for the rest of the
yeah,
time. They were eggshell, blue poppy eggshell people or whatever. Like they kept trying to come up with names for them.
mm-hmm.
Again, all the tangents. It's so reminiscent of like how an actual friends group, whatever. This is like you know how Adam Sandler has just made his run of comedies, which are basically just him and his friends hanging out,
Yes.
just as making a movie and as an excuse to hang out, and then it goes crazy at the box office anyway because people love Adam Sandler for some reason.
Just because you don't like Adam Sandler doesn't mean the world doesn't have to like Adam Sandler.
I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying they like him for some reason. I don't know that reason, but it's not because he's funny.
I gotta do your eyebrows.
I know. You bring that up every podcast.
Yes,
I'm
you're right. I
telling you.
do.
Well, then stop. You're making the audience think I've just got a bushy unibrow.
He does.
No, I do not.
He does.
One of these days, bang zoom to the moon.
You know what? And then you'll be 6 feet under.
Well, yeah, that's called every action has an equal and opposite reaction. You go up, I go down. I've been playing enough Kerbal Space Program. I know how physics work now. I'm gonna get a second degree. What the hell was I saying? Pierce Brosnan was in this movie, and I didn't recognize him. Pierce Brosnan was Guy Shepherd. Yeah. James Bond was in this movie. Anyway,
let's jump into star ratings, or
no, what the heck
early?
was I trying to say? What I was in the middle of something before you critiqued my eyebrows for the millionth time, for the 22nd time.
No idea.
This is upsetting me. What was I talking about? Car salesman, blah blah blah. Broken head, eggshell. Just the random tangents, how
Between
that resonated.
friends.
Yeah, okay, this is that, but the movies are actually good. This is the Adam Sandler thing, but the movies are actually good. Like, I could watch these movies multiple times, and in the case of Hot Fuzz, I have, which is unusual for me. I'll make that point clear, and I know I've brought it up before, but when I say it's a movie that I would watch again, that's high praise for me. Most of the time, even if it's a movie I really like, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it again.
Okay.
Like even, like 1917. I liked 1917. I probably won't watch 1917 on my own volition again, unless I'm showing someone.
Your dad.
Yeah, well, that's what I did. Even the same thing with the other war movies, Greyhound, Midway, those sort of things. Things that I actually enjoyed. Rent, yeah. I'll just yell at Maureen some more.
Yell at Maureen through the entire movie. Put a shirt on, ya whore!
Get off your hosh.
Get off your ho shit.
Alright, anyway, yeah, so it's time for star ratings. I'll let you go first on this one.
I'm gonna give this 4.5.
Yeah?
I think that it deserves it. I think it was really good. I got some chuckles out of me, and a lot of it was to be expected. Like, it was a typical end of the world kind of movie. Like, not really, but at the same time it was.
It's not 2012, that's for sure.
I mean, it's not 2012, but it's also funnier than 2012.
Well, because 2012 isn't trying to be funny. Disclaimer, I have not seen 2012.
You haven't seen 2012?
Have you?
I have seen 2012.
Why? Oh wait, maybe I have seen 2012. Oh my god, this is awakening like an ancient memory of mine. God, that was 10 years ago. That was the beginning with like the vat of water and the neutrinos and what. Hold on, let me look up 2012. Either way, I'm giving this movie a 4. I would give it a 4.5, but I said it's better than the world's. But I said Hot Fuzz is better, so I can't rate it more highly than Hot Fuzz. Hold on. It came out in 2009. It's even older than I thought. Yeah, Neutrinos. Okay, so I have seen this movie.
You have?
I have seen this movie. Oh my god, I haven't thought about it in forever. Hey, when are we doing an episode on The Core?
Never.
No, we need to.
It's not on the list.
It's not that bad. I think it's an underrated movie.
I am not watching that movie again.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yep.
I am not. I will gouge my eyes out with a fucking Tron spoon if I
Oh,
have
come
to.
on. It's not that bad.
I'm not watching it.
It isn't that bad.
I don't care.
Everyone out there, go watch the core, but do it at your own risk. People on Reddit were talking about Battleship earlier, and I was just
Really?
like, yeah. I was like, oh crap, I gotta watch that movie again. Is that on the
Uh,
list? Speaking of which, what are we watching next?
no idea.
You don't
Um,
have. It's not on the list. Battleship's not on the list.
honestly,
Damn it.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Mortal Kombat.
We'll watch Mortal Kombat. All right,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's get some more fight scenes in this.
Like,
Then
comment,
we'll watch Tom and Jerry.
like, comment, and subscribe. Comment if you've seen this movie.
Yada yada yada. Subscribe to reach 100, please. We need it.
And let's go watch a movie.
Yay! Watch a movie.
Woo! Bye, guys.
Bye.